This episode of the Conscious Salon podcast is brought to you by Revlon Professional Australia.
Welcome back to the Conscious Salon podcast.
Oi, oi. Wouldn't it be cool if we could start it like that? Oi, oi.
No.
Nikki hates it.
I don't like that.
Not
at
very
all.
conscious. Is it?
No, it's not our brand.
No.
Oi, but oi, Tess. And
Oi,
we've
oi.
also extracted one of our favourite co-hosts from the salon today. Shout out to the clients that we rescheduled to get Taya here.
Very good.
There's a good story behind it, but we do have Tay here in the studio very last minute. And by the way, stunning to see you
I
camera
know.
ready
Thank
and
you.
looking hot.
She always looks hot at work. That's when I stroll into the salon. I'm like, oh God, I forget how elevated everyone is. This is me elevated. And they're all like in like summer gowns.
Summer gowns. But Tay, you are here unexpectedly. Great to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
You took it like a champ when I did call you up, because this morning Tess had a little bit of a. Do you want to share your story?
Yeah, I mean, I hate starting things like this because like there's no great ending at the end. There's nothing to really say. It feels like I actually feel like I'm like gaslighting myself, which is crazy at the moment. But I rolled my ankle 9 days ago on a walk, which is not uncommon. Like, I'm a trippy gal. Like, I fall over a lot. I roll my ankle frequently. And I did find out, thanks to Dr. Rory, which I'll give him a little shout out, Megan's partner, Megan's fiance. He told me I've got very flexible ankles.
Oh,
So I
really?
never thought, and it's flex, isn't it?
What a
Literally
talent.
flex. Anyway, it turns out they're not as flexible as what I thought because something's happened. And yeah, it's just gotten, it's cankles now. It's not an ankle. It's super swollen and like purpley blue, and I can't walk very well. So it's not broken. We had the x-ray yesterday. But then I had to get called back in this morning before they opened, which shout out to my doctor, who's a real king in all this. But yeah, I had to go and they were worried because of the swelling and they can't pinpoint it. They were like, you need to go and get a, what is it, ultrasound and a CT scan done, and then I have to get another ultrasound tomorrow. And pretty much they said to rule out it wasn't a blood clot, which I thought was no big deal. I think I said that to you. I was like,
nothing.
I was like, guys, I'm busy today. I'll come tomorrow. And they were like, this can be life-threatening. I was like, shit, really? It's a twisted ankle.
We had about 2 hours. So Tess was like, oh, I've got to go there, and if they're going to find something. And I was like, oh God. And then I was thinking about it, and I was like, blood clot would make sense because her foot had.
Don't say that.
I sort of went a little bit down the rabbit hole, but I still had my business hat on, and I was like, we've got the studio today. So I don't fancy him because we had such an important guest. And then we had 5 episodes to do, or 4 episodes
and
to do.
photos and all the things.
And I didn't fancy doing those by myself. So I called Dave and said, we're going to have to cancel your afternoon in the salon.
So
You're going to have
thank
to
you,
come
Taya.
into the studio. So
Anyway, I got the all clear. She was a real queen about it. I hope I'm not ratting her out. I'm not giving her name, so it's fine. All the places it went to. But she did say, your results are being fast-tracked this afternoon, but there's no blood clot. I was like, stunning. I'm on.
no blood
Chuck
clot.
some
She's in the studio.
compression socks on and
Exactly.
No, I haven't done. I put on a croc. Sure, they were like, have you been icing it? I was like, yeah, once. It's too cold. I can't do it.
Perfect. Excellent.
So anyway, it's probably self-inflicted, but yeah, I'm not putting my foot up because I'm not going to scar everyone, but just trust me when I say
also, I
it's
feel like your feet are the least attractive thing about you.
100%.
They're
I said
not
this last
good
night.
feet.
Mum actually said yesterday when she was looking at my legs, she said, which one's the swollen one? I was like, thanks
shout out
so
to
much.
the
Also,
queen.
Alison, who weighs
I was like, yes,
45
like-
kilos.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mum.
totally. She said to me the other day, she's like, oh, I don't know how, but I've somehow lost 3 kilos. I was like, I am like pushing it to lose like 200 grams. I'm like, yes. And she's like, and she eats so much.
She
She's
eats so
never
much.
seen.
She's a tapeworm for sure.
Anyway, so yeah, that was really inspiring.
Exactly.
So then I fully feel like I'm gaslighting myself because there's no breaks. They can't find a problem, but it looks horrendous.
She's got a Sharpie and coloured it. She's been bumping it.
I've just been-
It does not look good.
it looks so bad.
But I mean, your feet didn't look good 3 weeks ago. Anyway, moving
it's a good
right
thing
along
I've got
with the
a
foot
thick
chat.
skin and a fat foot because I can tolerate this sort of bullshit from everyone around me. You're all going to feel bad if I've got some awful, like, rare condition.
Imagine if they're like, oh, there actually is a clock. We'll be like, But anyway, we've gathered here today not just for foot chat, but we do have something a little bit higher on the agenda. And we want to talk to salon owners about having boundaries with their teams.
Yes.
Not talking to their team and not contacting their team outside of hours. This is like an epidemic.
Mm-hmm.
And so often our clients will come in and they'll talk to us in various programs that we do, whether it's one-to-one or group programs, and they'll come in and say, you know, I contacted my team member on Sunday afternoon and asked her about a client who didn't have any notes, blah, blah, blah. And this is something that we immediately see as a red flag, but once upon a time there is a version of us who would absolutely find that okay. And we want to put a stop to it because this is such the hair and beauty industry is an industry where we've almost normalized being able to be so accessible and being so contactable outside of hours. And we are now seeing people extending that to their teams, and your team needs downtime. So we're going to talk about it.
Stunning.
So Tess, why don't you take us on the journey? I want you to talk about who we once were, where we breached this.
That's good. I've actually got
Tay, I want you to talk about your perception as a team member and how
we can do our lived experience. I reckon we've done it though, where we have spoken about this when I overstepped boundaries with Taya about a colour bowl. That really triggered me.
But it was normal once upon a time for us to contact our team outside of 100%.
Hours. I think there's a couple of layers to this. I think salon owners can get lost in two things. They think that this stuff is essential and they have to like nip it in the bud immediately. They go into that reactivity and they don't take a beat to like actually consider it. Hello, me, I did that. And when we live in that state, you don't really process or like slow down or have that moment of like taking a beat and actually consider what's going on. Or there's also the thing of like, we all love each other. We're just like vibes.
We're family.
Yeah. And either way, that's beautiful. However, it is so important to respect your team's boundaries and also talk to them about work things during work times. And I feel like this is something that we see play out a lot. For those of you who aren't aware of the story of Tay and I'll share on that. I know that we blurred it many times over, but this is still, so we sit here, the three of us being, you know, sisters, best mates, and also working in all three of our businesses together. We have such solid boundaries and structure around how we communicate, because if we start fucking with them, everything gets blurred, there is no boundary, and then it all just meshes into one big mess, which is what it had done in the past. So for the exact like blurring of boundaries that happened from my perspective of this, Taya had a day off, or you were on annual leave. There was a reason why Taya wasn't in the salon. And I went into the salon and I think you'd forgotten to rinse a colour bowl or something like that. And I took a photo of the colour bowl and then sent
evidence.
Receipts.
The receipts.
Yeah. I took a photo of it and then put it in, was it directly to you or was it in a group chat?
It was in the group chat. I
can't remember which one it was, but one of them. And then went through a whole like, this is not okay, blah, 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 blah. Like this, I should not be pretty much just getting into my, you know, this is not acceptable and don't ever do this again and blah, 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 blah. And Taya, of course, apologized for pretty much breathing in the salon in the wrong way. And it just felt yuck. And as soon as you sent that back, I realized, oh, that would feel so awful for her at home now. Like she's not here. I've now given her something to feel really anxious about. She will be stewing on this all day while I'm just going to get on with my day and move on, because I'm the reactive queen that's like gotten it out and then I'm going back to my day. Whereas for you, I know that like you were nervous to come to work the next day. And I think that was the beginning of realizing that, really identifying the fact that I needed to put a beat in place and really put my emotions and the reactivity aside, park it and have that conversation with Taya the next day so that she can also see my intention, that because you can't tell anything through a text. You can't tell tone, you can't tell like what the intention is. There's nothing like that. Whereas if you have that conversation when someone is at work, that's the appropriate time. It's not appropriate to blur that boundary outside of that. And I feel this is where a lot of salon owners can get lost, because they will prioritize these things like the colour bowl not being done and being like, I need to bring that up now because otherwise I'm going to forget, or I need to speak about that now so that she knows not to do it again, or because like it's in the moment and like blah, 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 or whatever the reasons are, you know why you're doing it. But what we've really learnt to master is not stepping into that reactivity, putting the phone down, writing a note, and then talking about it in the appropriate way. And I feel like this is something that's leveled up from all three of us.
And even in group chats, like I see so many saloners saying like, I was talking to my team, and when we enforce the boundaries of don't contact your team outside of hours, they'll say, oh, we're talking in the group chat. It's okay. The team really wanted to, like, they all wanted to talk, and the group chat was going off. And I'm like, but this is not a girlfriend's chat.
Yeah.
And the group chat going off on a Saturday night when your team should be having downtime, that's a red flag. That is, it's creating, whether it be an inappropriate interaction outside of the salon every weekend when the team are having their downtime and they've got these 2 precious days off. And then they're in the group chat talking about something. Like our group chat is relatively quiet because we talk about things that we need to talk about in our meetings.
Yeah.
And unless there's something that's, a really significant event that someone's going to where we want to share that, it's not like, it's just, it's 2 very different relationships. I want to hear your perspective, Tay.
I think too, just touching on what you're saying with, like, it's also then like an added pressure. Like some team members, like everyone who knows me, I'm terrible with my phone. Phone messages, absolutely terrible. If you need me, call me, I'll answer. That's pretty much it. Nikki always messages me and says, you don't have to reply. And
I always
really
say, just so you know, here's what's going on. No pressure to respond. Although you sent me a lovely text over the Easter weekend. And it was she's jealous.
I know.
I was like, rude.
Seven just want to say I love you. I said I love you
It would have been lovely to have received. That's right. I'll put that in my agenda to bring up at the appropriate time. No, that is beautiful. Joke.
No, but I know that about you. Yes.
Yeah, but like also for team members who are newer or people who aren't super like on their phones and doing that, it adds that extra pressure and anxiety around it because like you want to be part of the team, but then if you're not joining in there, when you get into the salon, is it like then one group that are getting really involved? But yeah, definitely like can stir up a lot of anxiety around it. And I think depending on your dynamic with your salon owner as well, if you are getting those messages, you're stressed of like bringing up things like concerns or challenges or things you want to work through. If you're getting those kind of messages and again, you're not knowing how it's being said on the other end because of how it's been written out, it can be like quite overwhelming. And then if you're struggling with just say retail sales, but then you're getting these messages of like you're not doing these things, you're not going to feel comfortable in an environment where you're going to feel supported to be able to bring up the things that you're struggling with. And I think it's just a mutual respect of time. Like we're really, really clear. Even sometimes I'll go to message either of you and I'll go to message in Telegram. Yes,
Telegram.
that's the one known as. But then I'm like, oh no, it's something personal. I need to text them. And it just brings that awareness of like, okay, what I'm sending right now, what is the purpose of it? Is it something that can wait or is it something that's personal where, I want to tell you that I love you or I care about you? But it gives it that beat.
Yes, I've heard.
But it does. It just gives it that beat as well to like have that moment to be like, okay, is this really, does this need their time right now? And whenever I say I love you, it always needs the time. So
absolutely agree.
Well, to some of them. But you know what I think with this as well? It just takes out the confusion because when there is like our group chat, I'm thinking about our group chat, what we use, actually our group chat with the 3 of us, it's all about work stuff. And as Tay said, if it's personal, we go into text. Telegram is where we do our group chat through work stuff. Our team group chat is also through Telegram. What goes in that? Meeting notes. Every time we have a meeting, we put in the notes for anyone that isn't there on the day or for people who need to have a refresher. So we pop in our meeting notes. Literally, I will scribe out as Tay's running the meeting. As soon as that meeting is finished, I copy those notes, post them in there so that it's there for anyone that wants to go back on or isn't aware or blah, 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 whatever the reason is. We've currently got Tay did a commitment not
ceremony.
A challenge. 3 commitments that the girls are working on. They all pop them in on Tuesday. Amazing. That was all done during work time. Again, that was all done on the Tuesday whilst they were in Salon. And then I think someone put it in on Wednesday morning, again, during Salon hours. Outside of that, there might be like an invitation if one of our team's getting married at the moment. I know that her engagement and wedding invite went in there as well. She also gave them personal ones as well, but that was just in there as well. Photos, things like that they want to share. Outside of that, the chat's pretty quiet unless there's something where someone is on holiday and they want to share where they are on a beach or something like that. there is
Again,
no
we didn't even
pressure.
say Happy Easter because I always am like, well, though I thought about it and then I was like, no, I don't want to make the team feel pressured to have to say Happy Easter. And I'm like, they know we said Happy Easter. We verbally said it on Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
we also
Absolutely.
gave their little Easter gifts as well.
Spoiled.
Easter Bunny came on Tuesday morning.
Yeah. So it's that I'm more conscious of that now, whereas we used to be like, Happy Easter. And then I'd be like, okay, who's written back? Yeah. So-and-so's written back. Good. They've seen it. That person's seen it and hasn't written
responded.
back. That's
Me. Taya, again.
Tay, can we talk about your boundaries that you set for the team in terms of not having that relationship outside of the salon?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I've always not held back, but always had that boundary with team members of like not personal things like having that still personal relationships, but not outside of work. I think it can get really easy to blur lines. It can get confusing. It can get, like, I don't know, just I feel like it could get really messy. I've never been in that situation, but I was always scared of that. So I always was really clear, like, we'll always be friendly. Like if there's a birthday and everyone's going to, I'll definitely go. But for me, I'm always in that, not work mindset, but like responsible, like don't get too, have my moments where I get silly, but try not to get too silly and like really keep that clear. Because
it's hard as well if you do blur that. It's really hard to hold people accountable or
absolutely
hold the line or have those challenging conversations.
Yeah.
Which I've seen you really step up into and really, having that awareness on the boundary of it, which has been amazing.
But if I'm partying with them every weekend, like, is anyone going to take me seriously? Absolutely not. And as they shouldn't. So for me, it's always been a really clear boundary of like, this is there and this is there. And I think like even just touching on salon owners, they don't want the shoulder taps. They don't want the messages. Like your team is the same. Like you want to respect the mutual respect between the two of you of, this is when we talk and this is how we talk, and get really clear about what that looks like for everyone and create a space where everyone can have that talk, like space to talk.
I feel like there's that unhealthy attachment that so many salon owners have to their team, and I really fucking hate hearing the thing of like, we're family.
Yeah.
We're family. I'm like, mate, I work with my family and you should see how we scrap when no one's around. And I don't want that. I want to be really clear that like Tess and I are literally family. And when we are in work mode, we have a professional hat on at all times.
We also have the professional chat of just your on my work chat where it is literally called Nick and Tess work chats.
So we have our own work chat in Telegram, and we don't message each other in there outside of hours. We'll schedule a message if we need it to go out to the other one. We don't look at it after 5 o'clock. And we know that if we were calling each other, if something monumental happened in our business but the other one didn't know, we will not talk about that unless it's like life-threatening after the hours of 5 and before the hours of 8. It's like it's just a boundary that we have, and we've had to work really hard at that.
Really hard.
And sometimes we get it wrong. But we're getting so much better at it. But even for that mentality that salon owners have of like, me and my team are family, like we're just so supportive, we're always there for each other, blah, blah. Yep, cool. But when something goes wrong, let me know how that family situation is going. You fuck up with your team, you're very quickly not family, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
And also the fact that when I think about family dynamics, I think of, so many people can take their family for granted. So many people can be their worst version of themselves with their family. I don't want you in your family self. I want you as your professional version. And we have to get really clear on that because so many people, I think they think as salon owners, they think of their team as like their mates that are there for them, that want to see what they're doing on a Saturday night. And they create this almost like this, what's the word? Like it's almost like this dependency that my team are going to give a shit about me and my team want to know all the stuff about my life. They probably don't.
Yeah.
No.
They probably being polite. They're probably doing what they think that you want.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these people have a life outside of work, and for those 2 days a week where they're not in the salon, they should not be thinking like the one thing that we have in the hair industry, and this is why we're so passionate about team not having their own Instagram accounts. This is one industry where you should be able to lock the door and not think about a single thing with your work until you turn that key again, 3 days later or 2 days later. It is an industry that you should have that. We have that privilege in this industry. Why are we making why are you making yourself more accessible to your team? Why are you making your team more accessible to you? Why are you making your team accessible to clients? Why are you making yourself accessible to clients outside of those hours? Because you are there to determine the boundary and to lay the boundary and the standard. And it's so important to respect other people's time.
Agree.
It's not paid work time.
No.
We shouldn't be having any conversations that are outside of paid work time.
Okay. So with that in mind, those people who are currently like, oh, fuck, I'm hearing this and realizing that I'm having the chats all blurred and etc.
Mhm.
What can we do? Let's do a tip or an action step.
Mhm.
What do you think of that? Having that as a one thing that you would do differently if you're either hearing this and recognizing, oh, I think this is me,
Mhm.
or if you are wanting to switch things up, what would be your tip?
Great. So first, my tip is that you need to create a notes app in your phone that's called Things I Need to Talk to My Team About.
Mhm.
And every time you go to message in that group chat, I want you to think, could this go in the notes app for me to talk to a team member at a more appropriate time to facilitating a meeting? And if you think, oh, but there's never a time where we're all together, you need to start having team meetings every fortnight. If you don't know how to do that, go and purchase our course, The Conscious Meetings. Great course.
Yes.
But you need to start facilitating regular team meetings. There is a breakdown in communication currently, and the group chat is not a place for you to have a grievance list, work on airing out dirty laundry, making strategy with your team. Your time to communicate with your team is in your team meetings. So open a notes app and start jotting down every time you go to message in that group chat. No, this is going in the notes app and I'm going to talk to my team at the appropriate time. What's yours?
Taya, what's yours?
Mine is find your like your boundaries and relay them to the team and get really strict and like clear on what the boundaries are and what everyone is like to be expected to do. So whether that's no no messaging out of this hour and that hour, or especially if you're someone who's not in the salon all the time. So Nick and Tess are barely in the salon, but the girls know not to contact them. They know that if they need to, obviously some things, kind of come out of there in terms of like personal things, as in if they want to tell them they love them. But other than that, they come to me, and then if I need to relay anything straight away, like we do, but if not, then it waits until I see them in our leadership meeting. So get really clear around what your boundaries are, what you're going to like set the standard for your team. Because if you're doing it, then everyone else is doing it, and it can just like snowball.
I love that. So communicate it really clearly as well. Love that. So open the notes up and set the things I'm going to talk to the team about. Set the boundary and communicate it clearly so everyone is understanding it. My tip is going to be, if you are someone that is like, I need to do this in this moment. If you're the reactive queen that is like, nope, this needs addressing now, type it out, do all the things, schedule it for when they're going to be at work. Schedule it for that time frame. So this is something for me. I'm not someone that can remember things, in the moment, or it's gone forever. Scheduling is something now that we can do. Text messages, I'm pretty sure you can do it on social media. Like Telegram, I know you can. Scheduling messages is really easy to do. You can literally set the minute that you want it to be sent in. I'm always scheduling messages, especially to Tay, because when I'm prepping things for her, if I'm not going to be in, I need to get that to her sometimes before I'm awake or before I'm like in my first hour or two of work. I'm not going to be considering going, better go and send Taya that message now. So I schedule it so that she's going to receive it when she's going to be either at work or very close to being at work. And she knows that when she sees that scheduled message from me, this is what is ready for you for the day. So if you can't hold off, that's fine. Write it out, do all the things, schedule it for an appropriate time. Then you're still sticking within your boundaries.
Stunning. I think this is going to help a lot of people. And
yeah.
We just have to be conscious that this wouldn't happen in like a corporate world. Teachers aren't messaging in a group chat after hours.
Dentists,
it's just not a common. It's not a common thing. It's not a common thing, and we for some reason our industry, that people pleasing mentality of being like, I need the validation that my team's all good and we all love each other so much and we're family. Because I text them over the weekend, but that's a thing of the past now.
One more bonus tip.
Great.
Turn your notifications off.
Oh, yes.
Those things. That's one of the biggest things I think we've done is like switching our apps, shut off all of our work apps at 5 p.m. every night. Opal lockout. Can't override it, or you can, but it's like complicated. But like I don't
Rubik's
even know.
cube.
Yeah, it's like literally like a Rubik's cube. 5 p.m. that shuts off, so we do not see anything outside of that until the next morning. And realistically, if it's like if people are like, oh, but the salon might burn down, blah blah, well they need to call the fire brigade first, and then they can call you. But that will be a phone call. No one's going to write in a group chat, hey.
Sorry.
Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode of the Conscious Salon podcast.
Love you guys. Stay conscious.
Ew.